Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about the flags of Australia and New Zealand. This is the flag of Australia, and this is the flag of New Zealand. These two flags are among the most similar national flags currently being used. This has caused much confusion and debate throughout the years. So how did these flags end up being so similar? Both flags are derived from this one. This flag is known as the blue ensign. It consists of the Union Jack in the canton and a blue field. The British have used this design as the basis of the flags of various territories, government departments, and clubs throughout the years. For example, here is the flag of the Cayman Islands, which is a British-owned territory in the Caribbean. It uses the blue ensign, which is defaced on the fly side with the coat of arms of the Cayman Islands. This is the flag of the Royal Ulster Yacht Club. Many British yacht clubs use the ensign as the basis for their flags. And the reason the flags of Australia and New Zealand are based on the blue ensign was because they were both created when they were still part of the British Empire. So while the flags are very similar, let's take a quick look at what makes them different. Both have the Southern Cross constellation on the fly side of their flags, but the designs are somewhat different. New Zealand has red stars with a white border, whereas Australia's stars are white. Also, Australia has one extra star, and this star is 5-pointed, while the other 4 stars have 7 points. All of New Zealand's stars are 5-pointed. Perhaps the biggest difference between the two flags is the addition of a large 7-pointed star on Australia's flag underneath the Union Jack, which is known as the Commonwealth Star. In our opinion, this star is the best way to quickly tell the difference between the two flags. One of the most important points regarding similar flags is the question of which one was created first. This is because the country that had the flag first has a legitimate claim to keep their flag, and the onus should be on the other country to change theirs. So which of these two flags came first? Well, the answer is a little complicated. The flag of New Zealand was officially adopted in 1902, and the Australian flag in 1903. However, the Australian flag was created in 1901 as part of a competition to design a new flag, and it took 2 years to make the flag official. And it was during these 2 years that New Zealand adopted their flag officially. But the flag of New Zealand dates back further than the official adoption in 1902. The design was first used in 1869 on New Zealand ships. So if the New Zealand flag had been used from 1869, why did Australia choose a flag that was so similar? Well, the 1901 competition for an Australian flag had strict criteria for the flag's design. It had to use the Union Jack, and it also had to use the Southern Cross Star formation. Because of this, it was almost inevitable the winning design would look similar to the New Zealand flag. So with all that in mind, we think New Zealand has a more legitimate claim to the flag than Australia. The New Zealand flag came first both unofficially and officially. We therefore hold the opinion that in terms of the issue of flag similarity, the onus is on Australia to change their flag. But the similarity of the two flags is not the only issue. There is one other glaring issue at hand, and that issue is of course the massive British influence on the flags. With both flags based on the blue ensign and designed when both countries were still part of the British Empire, there's been a lot of discussion and debate on changing the flags. Many think it's inappropriate for the now independent countries to have their flags based on the blue ensign, in which 1/4 of the flag is taken up by the flag of the former colonial ruler. So while it may seem an obvious decision for some to change the flags, there is still much love in both countries for the current flags. A large proportion of both populations trace their ancestral roots to Britain, and even many people who don't have British ancestry would also prefer to keep their current flag. Out of the two countries, New Zealand has come closest to changing its flag. In 2015, a referendum took place to choose a possible replacement. Out of the shortlist of 5 designs, this design by Lockwood was chosen by the people as a challenger to the current flag. Then a year later, in 2016, the Lockwood design and the current flag went head-to-head in a referendum to decide which would be the national flag of the country. After all the votes were counted, the current flag came out on top with 56.7% of the vote. And so the people of New Zealand made their choice. The current flag prevailed and will remain the flag for the foreseeable future. So what about Australia? Australia hasn't had a referendum, but there has been a huge push to have the flag changed. An organization called AusFlag was set up in 1981. Its mission to secure the support of Australians to change the national flag. Over the years, many people have submitted their flag designs to this organization as a possible replacement for the current flag. Another organization, which is called the Australian National Flag Association, was set up in 1983, probably as a direct result of AusFlag. Their mission is to preserve the current flag and to oppose movements such as AusFlag to have it changed. In 2010, the Roy Morgan Research Company conducted a poll of Australians regarding the flag. 66% said they wanted to keep the flag, while 29% said they wanted a new one, with 5% uncommitted. So a very clear majority want to keep the current flag. This poll and other previous polls suggest that the current flag would easily win in a referendum. This is probably why Australia hasn't yet had a referendum, and it may not happen for a long time because the polls suggest the current flag has actually increased in popularity over the years. So that's where we are now. New Zealand had an official referendum and the majority chose to keep the flag, and the polling from Australia suggests a similar result there. So for now, the flag war between Australia and New Zealand will continue. Millions of people across the world will confuse these two flags, and Australians and New Zealanders can continue to squabble about the fact their flags are so similar. But what do you guys think? Should one of them change the flag due to the similarity, or should both of them change due to the strong British influence? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Remember to subscribe to our channel and check out our other videos. Thank you for watching!